What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another edition of the Breaking Barriers podcast, season 6, episode 7. I'm one of your hosts, director of our Boys and Men of Color initiative, Daniel Robertson. I'm also joined by our co-host over here.
I'm Donovan Armprester. I'm part of Boys and Men of Color and Breaking Barriers, and we're here with Coach Ron, a special guest today.
How we doing, everybody? Coach Ron, a.k.a. I'm just a golfer.
All right, Coach Ron. Welcome, Coach Ron. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you on the podcast finally. Lil Birdie told me that this is your first podcast, man.
Yes, sir. This is my first, so go easy on me. I'm already nervous.
All right, man. It won't be too rough, I promise, man. So we'll start with the drip that you got on today, man. Can you talk a little bit about I'm Just a Golfer? Like, what's that about?
So that's been the brand I've been using since 2020, just starting out on my own just to get things started. And the clothing line was really not so much for me as it is for my little cousin, as crazy as that may sound.
All right, so your little cousin inspired it?
She's been in fashion for a while, and the reason why I started this was for her to get going.
Okay, that's what's up. So, Coach Ron, we know you work for First Tee, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing with First Tee? Your name been buzzing all throughout the town, man.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm still getting used to that. So the First Tee is underneath the PGA, and it is introducing golf skills and life skills to kids from 6 years old to 18. So my specific role and what I've been accomplishing with the First Tee is bring it to Buffalo. So it's been in Western New York for 25 years, but it's been in Orchard Park, it's been in Amherst, it's been in Tonawanda, but not in Buffalo. So as soon as I came in, I introduced the executive director to the head of Olmsted Parks and just gave him over presence at Delaware Park, where it's accessible to Buffalo kids. And I also do a lot with the outreach. So we'll do a lot of clinics on the east side, west side of Buffalo. We'll go into schools, community centers, and just introduce the sport. And my goal is for any kid, if they really want to get into it, to open the door so they really can.
All right, that's what's up.
So do you play golf?
Yes, I do play.
Would you ever think about going? Are you a professional, or would you think about going professional?
I have the potential chance to become a professional August 30th if I pass my playability test for the PGA.
Yep. Okay, that's good. I don't watch golf, but who's your favorite golfer?
Tiger. Easy.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger.
Yes.
That was a layup
Easy.
right there.
There's no thought about that. Tiger all day, every day.
What inspired you to go in your clothing brand?
To inspire me to do what?
Go in your clothing brand.
The clothing brand, so like I said, it was from my little cousin. My big cousin got killed 2 months ago, and his daughter, the last conversation I had with her, and she's obviously going through it, she lost her father, was how she loved fashion. The last thing me and him talked about was me and her did something together, because I was already talking about this for a while. I just never had enough motivation. So it was really for her, for my family, and I wanted to create a business that, unlike golf, because a lot of people don't like golf, and I get it, but I wanted to be able to create a business that could create jobs and at the very least create sources of income. So if things work out, my little cousin can create a version of the shirt or something for the girls, a skirt or something where she can make some form of income and really just expand and just do whatever from there.
That's nice. So basically, is golfing is this your dream job, or has something else on your career path that you would want to do eventually?
It is and it isn't. I really do love coaching. I love instructing, but that wasn't the dream. It was more so kind of like you. I want to be a motivational speaker, a philanthropist. I just want to help people, period.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my family went through a lot. I went through a lot, and nothing feels better to me than helping someone. I've been in situations where I work with kids where I've gotten Father's Day gifts just because I care, and I realize how little people care in this world, especially for young Black American youth. So it was just more so figuring that out. I was I wanted to be a pastor. I wanted to be a black belt. I could never really figure out one thing. But when I look at my life over the last 15 years, 20 years, it's been consistently helping people.
So, Coach, how long have you been surrounded by the game of golf? And when did you actually, decide that you want to coach it?
So I've been into it since I was a little kid. I was part of the inner city youth golf program under Major Hank Williams, rest in peace. And it was a collective of community of just men and women coming together for the next generation. So I got to play there. I got to meet other golfers, and then I was helping out younger kids. So I was probably teaching since I was 12, 13 years old.
Were there any particular specifications or classes that you kind of went through in order to become like I guess at this point a certified golf coach?
Now, yes, with the first tee, I had to go through certifications. I mean, just being around kids, you need it, and saw the extra things. And then the more you level up, the higher position, just like with anything else. And then now with my PGA certification I'm pursuing, that's going to really turn this into a career potential.
Okay. What has been your outlook on just the game of golf in relation to communities of color? Because, you know, I hadn't really paid attention to the game of golf until, like you said, like Tiger came along, right? And I think at that point, our community really started to like pay attention to the game. But as of late, I think our community has been more enticed by actually wanting to learn how to play and be on the golf course. And even, you start to see some of the brands like Jordan with Jordan golf cleats and that kind of stuff. So kind of talk about that a little bit.
So yes, Tiger was, well, first I want to give respect to Jim Thorpe. As far as like a black pro, everybody talks about Tiger, but there were before him.
Yeah.
So Jim Thorpe, I want to give his name a shout out because he really opened the door, but Tiger made it popular, and him being black and also being the best of the best and best in every area of the sport of golf. It started, like I said, with the Inner City Youth Program. That was a group of men that loved golf and got into it. And I think that I am in the next generation of that. So my father kind of played a little bit, and kids who grew up playing it, now we have the ability to excel, to really fall in love with the game and create a future from it. So I think we're seeing the ripple effect of Tiger in that sense. And it's been amazing. And I think this is exactly what the community needs, because golf was viewed as a rich person's sport. And it really is. And through golf, I've been around a lot of people with money that I never would have been around otherwise. And I've been able to observe and learn and just see the differences of their mentality, how they approach life, how they approach money, how they approach community, how they approach family, and just things that we don't have in our community as much as I would like to see.
Cool. Like that.
So basically you talk about helping kids in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is it like any chance that like, are you going to teach them how to play golf or like try to get them into the field of golf?
That's what I've been doing, and I'm still doing it to the day I die, honestly.
Yeah.
He gonna come teach you how to play golf in August.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
On a retreat?
At the retreat.
Yep, I'm coming for a clinic for y'all.
Yeah. That's actually nice because there's one thing that me and my mom doing this summer where like we gonna go play every sport. So that would be one nice thing to like do in August for me to like play golf. So that would be nice.
Yeah, get you some lessons, and you can take her out on the golf course.
Yeah.
And use what Coach Ron showed you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you said you want to be a motivational speaker, right?
Yeah.
So, and able to do that and really turn to a job, a career to make money, one thing that helps with anything with money is networking.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest reasons I want to teach kids how to play from our community is the people you're going to be able to meet through the sport. You'll be surprised how many business owners, how many politicians, obviously it's a couple Bills players you might be able to meet pretty soon just through golf.
Yeah.
Yo, so since you brought that up, Coach, can you talk about the importance? We always hear the phrase, your network is your net worth, right? So can you talk a little bit about how important your ability to network has been to the advancement of your career in this space?
I mean, when you think about as far as the impact we had to bring in the first tee to Buffalo, the reason why I was able to do that is because I know the head of Olmsted Parks, and the reason why I know him is through golf. I know, I don't want to name drop a lot of people, but like some big names and political figures. And in golf, it's funny because golf is a sport of integrity. Golf is one of those sports where like you're so focused, you really show who you truly are. If you hit a good shot or bad shot. So that's why it's been so popular for business meetings, for just getting to know someone, period. And then, like I said, through a lot of deals now, you think about like plumbers and electricians, doctors, whatever field you could think of. The people at the top, they play golf, they talk money on the course. And in this day and age where everybody's on screens now to communicate, it's the one area where you're going to spend 4 hours face to face rather than the same golf cart or you're walking together. So it's powerful.
Okay. So I'm thinking about this, right? As a person that has never played golf, and actually last Friday when I was at the barbershop, my barber was like, yo, man, you got to get on the golf course with me. I'm like, all right, at some point, right? The only time I've ever picked up a golf club was at putt-putt. right? And I think that's been the experience. Like it's like for real though. And I think that's been the experience for a lot of people who look like us,
Facts.
right? Or they watch it on television. And as you mentioned again, Tiger definitely made it popular, and we really started to pay more attention to it at that point. Like I remember my grandfather being like, "Oh, like we can't go to do this today because Tiger playing." I'm like, "What? Like this ain't the Bills, it's golf." But whatever. Talk about the actual game. Like I always hear, okay, you're gonna go play 9 holes or 18 holes, all these immaculate golf courses, but
yes, sir.
And like it looked easy.
Nah,
but it's not by any stroke of imagine, right? No. So it's like, can you talk about just the actual the game of golf, and then just like the type of physical shape and abilities that you have to even step on the golf course and think about swinging the club?
So I love how you said athleticism, because a lot of people want to say that golf's not a sport. They say it's a game. What Tiger Woods has done to the sport when he came in is he added the athleticism. You got guys going to the gym now, doing different types of, rather it's yoga or Pilates, like it's grown. The average distance people are hitting now is way further technology. So that's been amazing. Even for me, like I practice jiu-jitsu, I go to the gym, because the guys I compete with, they're hitting 300 yards plus. So you need that. What was the first question? I'm sorry.
No, it's that. It's just talking about the kind of the physical abilities that you need to have, but then just the game itself. Like I don't really know a whole lot about the rules of golf, what happens when you get on the golf course. I know, from my basic knowledge of golf is it's a ball, it goes on the tee when you start, you hit it because you're trying to get the ball in the hole, and
So
break it down for us.
The easiest way to break it down, because most everybody has played putt-putt before, right?
Yeah.
So you think about putt-putt, everybody got to start from the same spot, and the ultimate goal is to get in the hole, and you're counting how many shots it takes. So the first thing they have is called par, and that's how many shots it's supposed to take to get in the hole.
Bogeys and birdies and all that.
So you get your bogeys, you get your birdies like that. But with putt-putt, it's the same as any swing. You got to have a certain setup. You want to have consistency. You want to be able to know if I hit this ball, it's going to go in this direction. And that's hard for a lot of people because there's a lot of determining factors like your club face, your speed, your loft, etc. I ain't going to go into technicalities.
No, break it down. We need to know this language, man.
All right, so one of the biggest things to break down, I would say, is the ball flight laws. It's the physics behind golf. Okay. So that's going to be the relationship between your club path and your club face. So say if this is your ball, see if the camera can see it too, and you're hitting it with a club, you want to have that club square so it can go straight. But people who can't control the face can have it open and it'll go to the right, or close and go to the left. Then you have your club path, is how is the club actually getting to the ball. So some people have inside out, where they're hitting it out on a rotation. Some people have it outside in, which is the most common fault of people I teach for amateurs, going outside in. They're going with all arms. It's a sequence of motions. You're supposed to take the club back. The hips go first. It brings the momentum down, turn, centripetal acceleration. Ball's gone. So like me as an instructor, I got to look at all these. Like when I'll bring y'all to a golf simulator spot, you're going to be able to hit a shot. You're going to see your numbers for everything. And I'll be able to break that stuff down, your launch angle, your club speed, your ball speed, your smash factor. And when you see those numbers, you kind of realize, okay, if I set up like this and swing like this, this is the result I want to get every time. And you make your little alterations. If you want to make the ball go from right to left, hit a draw. If you want to go from left to right to hit a fade. If you want to hit a high lofted shot over a tree. If you want to hit a low shot. If you want to get fancy like the pros and say, if I hit it with a downward force, that I can put backspin on the ball, so I can make it land, stop, or I can make it roll back. Like the ball don't move, so you're controlling everything until that happens. And the craziest thing about golf is the mental side of it, because you're going to hit a shot and you're going to have 5 minutes, say, if you walk into your ball. You got to keep your mind steady and clear and focused, no distractions, and be ready to hit this shot. You have to take into account which way is the blades of grass facing. If it's like against the grain or into the grain, you have to take into account if there's any form of loft. Like if you're hitting on a hill, the ball could be above your feet or below your feet. Like every single shot, you have to have total concentration and say, I got to hit it. You got to know your distances. You're going to have 14 clubs in your bag. They each go different distances. You got to ask yourself, what is the best club for each shot? Then you got to say if it's wind, if it's rain. Then every course is different. Like some of the better courses have imported grass, like Bermuda grass, for example, because obviously it's a bunch of rich people, so they're going to have the best of the best. So when you play some of those courses, like I just played behind Josh Allen at Craigburn, he's a member out there. that course compared to Delaware Park here in Buffalo. It's night and day. Even the sand, if you certain sand is softer or harder, you gotta, like I said, with every shot, you have to take into account every factor and then execute. So it's complicated, but then it's simple because once you know your actual setup for your shot and you know your swing, then you make your alterations from there.
Yo, that's wild.
But then I'll also say this is like, no matter how good you get, you can have one day where you're playing well, one day you're not. And it could be so many factors why. Like Tiger Woods is to this day always perfecting. He doesn't have the same swing. He had 4 different now swing coaches where he's always trying to get better, always trying to improve. And he was the best of the best all time. Like he led in every category. You never see a player like everybody talk about Michael Jordan being the best, but Tiger Woods was the best in every area of the game. So imagine if Michael Jordan was the best free throw, best 3-point percentage, best layup percentage, best like everything year after year, like that level of dominance. So
yo, hearing you break down the game like that has me. I feel like after I leave here, I got to go look up everything that you just said and really like dive into this a little bit.
Take it baby steps. Like your first goal is to just be able to hit a shot and then hit a shot consistently and know if I do this swing, it's going to go right there in this general area. Once you can do that, then you got to understand why it's going to that area. Once you understand why, then you can start making your little alterations. But like I see a lot of people, and that's the annoying thing when you play golf enough that people complain about is you see people trying to do too much. And it's not worth it. Like I'll see guys spending thousands of dollars on clubs, just spend hundreds of dollars on their outfit. They'll watch every YouTube video in the world and they're trying to copy these pros. And it's like, unless you're going to put in the work and the time, the knowledge to understand this stuff, it's not worth it. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I think that's a good pivot to what you talked about earlier in regards to your ambitions to actually go pro, right? So what are you doing to actually prepare yourself for that?
So I want to be clear about this when it comes to pro, because when people look at pro in golf, it's 2 different areas. You could be a tour pro, that's your Tiger Woods, that's competing and they're getting paid just to compete. Me becoming a golf professional is I'm going to be a professional teacher pretty much.
Okay, gotcha.
So what goes into that, I'm studying I'm being mentored by one of the top 3 golfers in Western Europe when it comes to winnings and just influence periods. So I study underneath him and I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm a newborn baby. Like everything I thought I knew about golf, out the window. I'm learning so much from him. Obviously it's a pressure playing. Like you have to be actually good at the sport. So I got to play a lot. There's pro tournaments I got to get ready for that they're pushing me for. So you're competing against the best of the best as well. Obviously you can win money in these tournaments as well. So there's that. You really got to study, know the game. And then you got to be good with people, because when I'm teaching, like I teach all over. So I'm not just teaching on the east side of Buffalo. I'm teaching the east side of Buffalo, west side of Buffalo, Orchard Park, West Seneca. So you got to really be able to see your student as a person, as an individual, and take whatever knowledge you have and then break it down to them.
There's a another saying that, you put in 10,000 hours basically to become an expert in your craft. So how much time would you say you dedicate to becoming that expert in this craft?
I don't even think about how much time I put in because it's literally my life.
Okay.
So like I view this as this is everything about me. That's why I made this I'm Just a Golfer. That's where the name came from, was like I was coming from a very rough phase of life. I was a knucklehead, to say the least. If you would have met me 5 years ago, you wouldn't have recognized me. And me just putting this in and identify myself as like, okay, if I'm nothing else, I'm a golfer. I'm good at it. And I'm good at teaching. And when you really view something as this your life, it's not a hobby. It's an everyday thing. You don't clock in for hours. It's every day. I'm playing all the time. I got to play at a high ability. I got to practice at a high ability. I volunteer so many hours just to help out and teach, because even me teaching helps me learn. So I put in the 10,000 hours years ago. Like I'm past counting now, but it's hard to explain because a lot of people, like you have your career, you have your hobby, you have your passion. For me, it's all in one.
That's powerful, man. I'll commend you for that.
Thank you. I'm fortunate, like I said, and it wasn't even about golf. I didn't even like golf growing up. I thought it was lame. Like when I was growing up in school, like as a young black kid, ain't nobody talk about golf, whatever. I was on my high school team. I got us a trophy. Ain't nobody care. They care more about cross country than golf. So it had to be like doing this for yourself.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
This is a golf question. Is there like any chance, like, is it like a good club? Is there like a club that's good, or is there all like the same type of?
That's a very good question. So at a higher level, clubs are fitted for you.
Mm-hmm.
There's many components to that. Like, so at my level, I can't just use a regular club. Like, my club has to be fitted for me for my height, for my club speed, for my strength, and then for the type of shots that I play. So it goes as far as like loft. So high loft, low loft. For certain shots, I have to have clubs specifically made for me like that at a high level. But until you're at the high level, it doesn't matter so much. Like I'll do this thing where I'll hit other people's clubs to show them. And I have little kids that be this tall with they little clubs that's gonna make me hit it as a joke, but it's a show. Like, if you have the basic technique and setup, you're gonna be able to hit anything.
Okay. So like, I don't know how golf is, but like, what's the farthest that you hit?
Furthest that I've ever hit?
Yeah.
Technically it was a 420 yarder, but I don't count. This is a story behind that one. I don't count that one. So I'll say 360 yards.
That's far.
And the PGA Tour pro average is 290. So there's pros, like I could hit as far as a lot of PGA Tour pros, but once again, it doesn't matter. I've lost to people who could hit way less than me. It's not always about distance, even though that does help. It's about your ability to do everything else, to piece your whole game together, to be able to hit a shot from me to that TV and to put it within inches of that TV, because that's your goal. So that's where the game really comes down to. And then the putting is different because these greens are not flat. So there's different type of undulation or type of hills. So you got to be able to look at this and say, and figure out in your mind, which is, to me, is the genius of golf, period, is how can someone in their mind look at this and say, if I hit it this hard, aim it right here, it's going to go right there. When people hit shots, like certain distances, the football field is, 100 yards? Yeah. Say like 110, right? So I'm hitting shots on par threes with an iron, maybe 160 out, 170 out, 200 out, double the length. And I'm hitting it within 10 feet of my target. And the pros can do something even closer than that. And it's still like, even though I can do it, it's still crazy. Me like, how can I hit a ball that far, get that close?
Yeah. That's good.
You're going to see. I already see it in your eye. We're going to get you on the course.
Yeah. That's far.
I'll say this too, it's fun for everybody watching as well. Golf has grown so much, especially in Western New York, that there's things called golf simulators. So imagine a giant screen, you hit a ball to it and you can see the results of the shot. You can play different games, you can play courses. Like, that's been evolving in Buffalo, like in the last 2 years.
Yeah, then they just like open up a spot, it's like a golf simulation, but then it's a lounge and something like that too. Like, yeah, I've been seeing some stuff around that. And then we don't have one yet, but I keep hearing that we might be getting a Top Golf.
Yep. So Encore Golf, they sponsor Josh Allen. They have their own ball facility. They're located downtown. They're supposed to have one since 2021, but obviously COVID and that just changed a lot. But it's rumors, so we'll see.
Well, I think I'm looking forward to the retreat in August.
Yes, sir.
I'm looking forward to actually getting on the golf course with you. I know some of my friends have been out there with you, and they've been in my ear like, yo, you got to come get out here with us. So I'm game. I'm probably going to bring us a little something extra to the golf course, though,
yes,
just
sir.
to liven it up a little bit.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man, I think as I sit here and think about my own personal journey that I feel like I want to take now, what I know for me, my biggest fear on getting a golf course is my level of competitiveness. Like, I don't like to lose at anything, man. So like, for me to have to get on the golf course and enter into a sport that I haven't played or, don't have it. I feel like I got the skills. I'm not going to say I don't have the skills to play, but haven't honed this yet. The biggest thing for me is like, I don't want to lose. Like, how do I not get frustrated when I'm out here and I'm, just learning the sport? Because I like to be good right from the jump.
I'm going to give you the good news. I'm going to give you the not so good news. So the good news is, because you play the sports, you're going to have a natural acclimation of golf. When I teach people who play sports, they'll pick it up way quicker. Because like, you said basketball?
Yeah.
So basketball. I'm
thinking about the comparisons kind of.
So think with basketball, think about like a free throw, right? You're in the set position every single time and then it's just released. First thing with you in golf is you're going to understand is your set position for golf. And once you're in your set position, hitting a shot's going to be like a free throw. Only difference is free throws is easy. You're just doing that. Golf is like you take it up, coming down more facts. But once you get to that first step, and then as dudes, like we're macho, we want to hit the ball fire. So once you hit that first good it's over, bro. You're going to hit that first good shot and you're going to be addicted. But now the not so good news is, as a competitive person, golf is going to be the best and worst thing for you because it's going to force you to evolve. Because like I said earlier in the podcast, right, you're going to hit a shot and 5 minutes later, you got to hit another shot. Whether that shot is good or bad, and you got pressure either way, you have to still hit that next shot. So if you're competitive, right, and you hit a bad shot, say if it goes short or goes in the water sign, you got to keep your focus or build your focus back up to hit that next shot. And that's hard for anybody. I know pros, I know people, regular people, and it's hard. That's for me as a pro, like the next level I got to get to is like I'm under pressure that I've never been under before. Like this is my first podcast. I've had news jump up on me. I've had shots where I'm surrounded by people. I've had to hit shots where the cameras are on out of nowhere. So if I mess up, it's like, can't react. Just got to go for the next shot. And then I got time where like, you know, you playing with your boys. You might play for money, for bragging rights, or just, I like to talk trash. I'm competitive too. So like, I've been in situations where I talk trash. I'm about to hit this shot like, man, I'm up by 2. Y'all ain't ready for this, man. Let me take my trophy now and then. Right in the trees or something.
They don't want right in the water.
So it's like, but that's part of golf. And I love teaching golf to kids because that's part of life. It's like, no matter where you at, keep going. But yeah, I can't wait to play with you. I can't wait for them moments because it happens to everybody.
So I'm super competitive. I'm that person where playing spades, I don't care if I'm up or down. I'm talking smack.
When you go joker, deuce, or you ace down?
I can play either way, any way you want it. Say less. Any way you want it.
Say less.
All right, man, you about to get a sidetrack. Diving over there looking at me like, Mr. Daniel. All right, D, I'm going to kick it over to you. We're going to get ready to wrap it up.
How long have you been playing golf for?
Man, since I was a kid. I think I was probably like 7 years old when I was in the inner city youth golf program. And I took a little break because I didn't like it at first and I was competitive. I just wasn't good at it. So I just was like, nah, forget this. I like basketball growing up too. So I was like, I'm going to just do that like everybody else. And then it wasn't no support. And then I think I jumped back into it probably like 10, 11. And then I didn't really take it serious until 2020.
Yeah. One more question. This is the last question. What advice would you have for like young kids like my age?
For what? For advice for life or
yeah,
for golf?
just for life. Just for life.
Man, so the biggest piece of advice I could give for young people that I love giving is really asking them, like, what is your dream? It's having a dream, having a goal, something that truly fulfills you. Because a lot of kids I work with, when they don't have a dream and they don't value themselves enough to have a dream to pursue, then that's when they get distracted. That's when they're hanging out with the wrong crowd. And that's when they really fall off. It's just because they have nothing to work for. So once you really have something, like the moment I made the decision, I'm gonna do this golf lessons and then I'm gonna make profit from it and do that, that's when I started doing it. It wasn't when I talked about to everybody, it's when I made that decision. And I didn't really truly make that decision until I really had a dream.
Yeah.
So dream, ask yourself every day, what can I see myself doing 5 years from now? What can I see myself doing as an adult? How can I see myself providing? How can I see myself happy? How can I see myself fulfilled? Think about accomplishments. It could be something as small as, for me, it could be hitting 300 yards. For you, it could be something as small as doing your first motivational speaking event. Or it could be just really helping some kid younger than you. But detail it, make it real, and you're going to do it.
So, Coach Ron, we appreciate that, man. That was good advice.
I appreciate y'all.
Man, congratulations on your first podcast.
Thank you. Yo, we did it.
Congratulations on the clothing line.
Yes, sir.
We're looking excited.
Yes, sir. Look out for I'm Just a Golfer coming up soon.
Looking forward to that. I definitely got to get my hands on some of that swag.
Yes, sir. I got you.
Golf course. Maybe I could, play you for some of the swag and beat you.
Hey, so we do this thing where we do I play against people who don't play as much, and I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna give you like 20 strokes. So you're gonna start with like you're gonna start way past me, and then we're gonna play and see how it happens.
Oh, that's like you give me a handicap?
Yeah, that's how people do it, tournaments and everything else.
All right, we're gonna see. We're gonna just try that out, man.
I'm gonna talk trash just like I do in spades. Just be ready.
No, but on the real, man, I think what you're doing is really dope. It's positive. It's impactful, and it's something that will motivate other people to have a male of color I feel like you kind of leading the charge, honestly, for our community. We talked about Tiger. you see other athletes like, Jordan, obviously, I kind of helped to further the conversation around our communities playing golf, right? Super competitive with that as well. And now you kind of see it with Steph and the tournaments that he plays in. And, we got other local athletes that obviously play. Josh was out there playing with, Mahomes and Brady and them at some tournament.
Josh, like I said, I was just playing behind him at Craigburn, but a couple Bills players take lessons from me, right? And Josh Allen got them into golf. Like as a Bills team, they're becoming a golf team because of Josh Allen alone. Josh Allen has bought out Oak Hill and Rochester. He rented out Glen Oak and Amherst and brought the team out. So it's growing even in that sense. We just did something for girls in sports at the Bills Athletic Center. Like it's growing.
Well, we look forward to being part of that growth and learning.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to get the Bills up here.
Maybe we can get a little Breaking Barriers golf team out here. We can go challenge some folk. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all really should.
We should.
We should.
Yeah, we're going to talk more about that.
That.
I see the wheels turning. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all tuning in. It's been a great episode with Coach Ron. We missed Jamie and we missed Josiah, but they'll be back with us for the next episode. Peace and love, and we see y'all next time. We out.
Peace.